My sheep hear my voice. I know them and they follow me. Growing up, I noticed that my mother had a profound fondness for raising chickens. And there were two primary reasons behind her affection for these feathered creatures. First, the chickens provided a steady supply of fresh eggs, which my mother skillfully transformed into delicious omelets. Second, the chickens themselves served as a source of meat, gracing our table in the form of tasty and spicy chicken curry, particularly during special occasions or when we had guests over. We used to have a cocoa tree at the back of our house, and this tree too was special for three reasons. It produced fruit abundantly throughout the season. It was a relatively short tree for easy climbing, and it was also a home to a few of my mom's chickens at night. Though we had a shed for them, few of them would be happy to spend their night on the cocoa tree, which was not safe for them. After our evening meal, my mother took her flashlight and headed to the chicken shed to ensure all her feathered friends were accounted for. Just like a dedicated kindergarten teacher, she would meticulously count each of the 16 or whatever she had chickens, ensuring none were missing. However, there were occasions when the attendance was incomplete. In such instances, my mother would venture under the cocoa tree, often finding the absentee chickens there, and she would call out them, mimicking the famous coco sound, and the chickens would recognize. Interestingly, those missing chickens, upon hearing her voice, would swiftly descend from the trees and follow her back to the shed. And if they didn't, it was my responsibility to climb the tree and push them down. They knew her voice, and she knew them. In John's Gospel, we see an almost similar picture. Listen to Jesus. The sheep that belong to me listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me. Shepherds in rocky Palestine, where Jesus lived and preached, and its neighboring countries hold three things very dearly: water, their tents, and their sheep. The shepherd guides the sheep and is almost a father to the flock. He gives each one a name and allows them to sleep even close to him and even drink from his kettle of water. And Jesus draws a picture from the shepherd's life to illustrate a lesson about his relationship with his disciples, a relationship of intimacy, of service, and offering. And Jesus knows his sheep. He's related with his disciples in an intimate love. And they, in turn, hear his voice. They listen and obey his commandments as their personal response to him. In the hustle and bustle of our daily life, it's easy to lose sight of this singular voice amid the clamor of competing demands and distractions. We are tempted by the allure of worldly masters, by the fleeting promises of success, power, and recognition. But in following these ephemeral masters, we risk losing ourselves in the shadows of drifting aimlessly without purpose or fulfillment. Just as the chickens recognize the familiar call of their caretaker, so too are we called to attune our ears to the gentle yet commanding voice of Jesus. And he calls us not to blindly follow, but to know and be known by him intimately. And in his voice, we find guidance, comfort, and unwavering love. Let us pause amidst the noise, quieting our hearts and minds to listen for that familiar voice, the voice that leads to green pastures and still waters, the voice that offers abundant life. Maybe it's good for us to ask, who is our master in life, and whose voice do we often listen to?